Let's get right to our strategy session. Joining us, our CNN political contributor, the Democratic strategist, Paul Begala, and Republican strategist, the former Bush White House press secretary, Ari Fleischer. Guys, thanks very much for coming in. Sarah Palin, she said last night, Paul, she is not backing down. She is not going to shut up. I don't know if you saw the interview she did on Fox, but what do you think? What do you think about her that, you know what, she wants to speak out and she has every right to do so?
Absolutely. I say amen, Sarah. Don't let them shut you up. We need more Sarah Palin. She needs her own network like Oprah Winfrey. Because for Democrats, frankly, it's the best thing could happen. Look, I saw one Gallup poll had her favorable rating among Republicans at 73%. And yet the Washington Post poll has her favorable rating among all Americans at just 38. Now, it's a little apples and oranges. It's not absolutely perfect comparison. But basically, she's real popular with the Republican base, maybe popular enough to be their nominee for president, God willing, but not at all popular with other Americans, the kinds you need to win a presidential election. So the best thing could happen to Barack Obama.
According to this USA Today Gallup poll number, we have Ari, back in July, her favorable number was 44%. Now it's 38%. It's going in the wrong direction.
Well, I think that's right, Wolf, and I don't think she handled as well as she could have the whole situation in Tucson. She should have made that first video a rise above type speech where she ignored the nonsense that was thrown against her and talked about hope and healing and suffering and Americans coming together. And then on her interview with Fox last night, she could have made her detractors look small, and she didn't get that sequence right. But, you know, if we're talking about civility in politics, we could start with the Democrats treating her better, treating her well. I don't understand the disdain that they have for her. I have never seen somebody be subject to so many cruel and vicious personal attacks, not only her, but against her children. And it really has gone too far against her. Whether she's presidential or not is a totally separate matter. But the cruelty in politics that has been applied and attacked to Sarah Palin, alleging that she was an accessory to mass murder, is horrendous.
What Democrat has said anything about her children? She seems to have a lovely family.
During the whole campaign in 2008, she took a lot of calls from the press about who the mother of her children were.
That's the press, and that was reprehensible. You said Democrats were unfair. No, you just accused my party of being unfair to this woman's very loved family. No one has been that I know of.
Paul, stop pretending that your party isn't bad to her. The shooting in Tucson, Daily Kos is one of the people, a prominent Democrat blogger who blogged that she was an accessory. Paul Krugman made the case that she was an accessory to murder. I'm not saying she's presidential. She has a lot to prove before she shows she's presidential. She doesn't deserve the brickbat she's taking in politics.
Paul, go ahead and respond.
First off, I don't know of any Democrat that has criticized this woman's children. Her children seem to be just lovely people. But she is in the arena, and her ideas, such as they are, I mean, it's kind of a little hyperbolic to call what she's for ideas. But, you know, she served several months as governor of a state that has, you know, more reindeer than people. And I want her out there more. I want to be nice to Sarah Palin. That's what I just said. We need more. She makes a lot more money than I do, but if she needs a loan for her filing papers to run for president, she can come to me. I'm all for it. We need more Sarah Palin. She is the face of the Republican Party. She's the dominant figure of the Republican Party and the party's leading intellectual figure.
Hold that thought for a moment, because I want to continue the conversation on Sarah Palin. Newt Gingrich saying she needs to be more careful and think through what she's saying. That's what Newt Gingrich is saying. We'll discuss that and more when we come back. Our senior White House correspondent is now reporting that Senator Joe Lieberman, the independent senator from Connecticut, is planning to announce tomorrow that he will not, repeat, not seek re-election for yet another term. Let's bring back Paul Begala and Ari Fleischer. Your immediate reaction, Paul, Lieberman is not going to run.
Well, he probably had no other options. I mean, he's been running for office for most of his adult life, a very successful politician in Connecticut. One of the few, I think, who's given major addresses at both the Democratic and the Republican conventions. But you know what it'll be? The thing to watch will be the next 2 years his service in the Senate, where he may be even more of a wild card. The Republicans have Lisa Murkowski, a Republican who was pretty much repudiated by her party, but won election anyway. Democrats have a parallel story in Lieberman. Those two may be the most interesting swing vote, independent votes in the Senate for the next 2 years, because Lieberman apparently, at least, is not going to have to worry about getting reelected. He'll be a total free agent. May not be the best thing for the Democrats, but it'll be fun to watch.
Ari, what's your immediate reaction?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm very familiar with Connecticut and Connecticut politics, and it would have been a very difficult re-election for him to thread the needle of being an independent when you have a Democrat base who is so anti-Lieberman because he's a conservative on foreign policy and he's not fully embraced by the Republicans. A very difficult path to re-election. I think he's a great man. I think he's a courageous man, and I think he's going to leave with his dignity and his pride. He won't leave the way Arnold Specter did, where he leaves a defeated man. And so I think this is in keeping with the character and the depth of Joe Lieberman, frankly.
And it comes on the same day that Kent Conrad, the Democrat from North Dakota, has just announced he's not going to seek re-election either, another open seat that the Democrats will have to deal with. All right, guys, thanks very much.